Hello, how are you doing? Now in this video, we have all the users available in our local state, so let's render them. Okay, so inside this render method, what we can do is let's get rid of this and let's write here. So we're going to embed JavaScript, right? So within these two curly braces, okay, within here, what we can say is this state users, right? This state users dot map. Okay, so we use this method map. It will map out each items available. Okay, so let's say user, and using this arrow function, let's return inside div. Okay, now again within these two curly braces, so anytime you want to embed the JavaScript expression, you make sure you do it inside the curly braces. Okay, so this state uses map each user and return user dot. Now what can we return? Let's have a look. So each users, they have cell phone, date of birth, email, ID, and so on. Let's begin with cell phone. Okay, user cell, easy. So we are rendering each users, and this time we're just displaying the cell. Okay, let's have a look. As you can see, we are able to display the user's data. How cool is that, right? Okay, so this is how you can use map method to render the data that is available in the state. Now we can obviously import Bootstrap, put in this file, put inside public index, okay, and we can start using Bootstrap styling, but let's not worry about styling for this application. We just want to learn the basics, right? Now one thing you will notice that here, even though it is pretty much similar to HTML, there are a couple of things such as class. So you don't do class, you just do class name. Okay, that is one thing that most of the time it is used. So very soon you'll get used to it, but beside that, can't think of anything else. So it's pretty much similar to HTML. Okay, so before we can render more elements, we can go ahead and do that using this. Let's bring it down. Okay, so for each user we are rendering the user cell. We can add more items, obviously. Maybe we want to render the name, right? So what's the name here? Let's have a look. So name, and they have first, last, and all that. So name first, and we can concat last. Okay, so let's do that. User name first. Okay, let's save. Okay, that's the first name. Maybe we want to put inside h2 or maybe h3. Okay, and let's create some more, and within p tag. Okay, so within this curly brace, let's say user email. What else we have? And let's say horizontal line. Okay, after each users. Okay, so that's the username, that's the email address, and so on. Obviously you can do more, but we got the basic idea, right? So the next thing I want to show you is how do you extract, because writing this method like so inside component is not always efficient or the best way. Okay, so these API calls you might want to execute from other functions as well later down the road. So let's extract this outside of this component and see how it works. Okay, so what I can do is I can simply name this. What do we call it? Let's call it get users. Okay, now this method will do exactly this. Okay, let's copy this and paste here. Okay, now component will mount, we can simply invoke this method, right? Okay, so this Okay, so this becomes maintainable in the long run. So instead of writing everything inside, we just extract it out. Okay, so let's save and give it a try, refresh. Okay, so it works. That this is an API call, so no matter how fast it is, obviously there are few milliseconds at least that time we don't see any data, and then we get the data, right? If you refresh, what we can do is that time we can show the loading, some kind of loading state, and then once we get the data, we show the data. So let's implement this loading feature in the next video. All right, see you in the next video. Thank you.